Welcome back, everybody. It is Rudy with FOMO Investments, and I hope everyone's having a great day today. It is October of 2018. We are officially hitting the fourth quarter, infamous time for YouTube and everything going on the internet here as we approach the consumer spending time. So we're going to talk about all the news, catch up everybody on the Magic, the Force of Will, what's going on, Guilds of Ravnica, and the Patron Special. So first we're going to get into the probably the most exciting, most anticipated thing, Guilds of Ravnica. Haven't really talked about the set, haven't really talked about too much. And I'll be honest with everybody, there's not really a lot of negativity going on with Guilds of Ravnica. Overall, the set looks pretty stable, looks pretty kind of solid. I mean, you've got 5 main cornerstones, which are the shock lands in the set. You got a bunch of $5 to $15 mythics. You got a $33 rare, which we all know is going to collapse about in the $10 range. And you got pretty much, even the basic lands look pretty good. Did you guys see the basic lands? They even added like extra artwork in the text box. It's kind of impressive looking. That's not really where the issues or the negativity has been. The negativity and everything still continues to be for the distribution model, the stores, the actual wizards themselves, but the product actually looks pretty good. So of course, with my patrons here going into October, the price will be $79.99 shipped, just like before. We're not going to modify much. But as just like Dominaria and Core 19, on release here, I do not have enough boxes to go to all the patrons. So just like the previous couple sets, expect probably the normal 30 to 60 days until the product's off allocation and the supply really just floods into the system for me to be able to have pretty much tons of boxes for everybody who is a supporter of the channel. So you're going to have to be a little bit of patience just to kind of get this going here. And yeah, I'll probably have enough boxes for the $100 and the $20 patrons, and I'll probably be about it. So everybody else, just like the previous releases, you just got to be patient. It's a few weeks so we get everything going. Past that, as far as the single prices go, depending on the exact allocation numbers moving forward, is really going to dictate how well these secondary prices hold up from their pre-release prices. The instinct is, and what I've been hearing from about 5 to 6 stores I polled, is that the actual initial wave of Guilds of Ravnica is going to be substantially lower than the previous releases. And again, this is due to the new distribution model. Remember, everybody, this is the first set to come out post the shutting down of the WPN Wizards direct buying. Stores can no longer buy direct from Wizards. This is the first release since. Number 2, this is the first release where a lot of product is being siphoned to Amazon direct. Not fulfilled by Channel Fireball, Amazon direct. So keep that in mind. So expect to see continued disruptions in the supply because it does seem to be the average store is taking a 30 to 50% haircut on the amount of boxes that they're getting at release compared to the previous releases. So yeah, and depending on how that unfolds, if that bottleneck stays in place for at least a couple months until the allocation window is off, expect the single prices to stay elevated, very similar to Dominaria. I would expect that we could follow that same path where you see a lot of really inflated rares and mythic pricing, and then unfortunately a lot of people are going to get crushed when that supply catches up to the market's demand in a couple months. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I am hoping for a more stable release, more smooth distribution as far as the boxes and where they flow through the country and the world. But again, I don't know. I don't think they really know. I think there's a lot of experimentation, as they say, going on, and they're kind of just not sure what to expect. So that's my opinion on it. So just a heads up for the patrons. You already got messages. You already know what's going on. Second thing, I apologize. I never did a channel update or any form of video last month because of the news and the endless amounts of information and drama that was coming out between distribution and the infamous Mythic Masters Timmy edition. And that really kind of set back the filming schedule for everybody. So last month, I know a lot of my patrons, we did a Khans of Tarkir, Fate Reforged, Dragons of Tarkir. We did like a block special where if you buy all 3 boxes, we took like $50 off eBay pricing. That went really well. Everybody loved it. We went through a ton of product. This month, we're going to be doing the original Commander Anthology 1. All the patrons out there, I know a lot of you guys were buying all the Force of Will like crazy, which we'll get to in a second. But the original Commander Anthology, the big, gigantic red box, I think eBay is like $240 to $270, and I think TCG Player is like $250 to $285 as of the filming of this video. So we'll chop off $30, $40 depending where you actually buy your stuff, and we'll do $219 ships, so you'll actually get a nice $30, $40 discount depending on where you buy. So anyways, that'll be something different this month for everybody. Keep in mind in the next few months coming up, we do have some neat other variety things. We got the older different core sets. We're going to do a variety pack of core sets. We're going to do the Modern Master, Eternal Master. And of course, towards the end of the year, we're going to do the infamous pre-release through time, where you get like a pre-release kits from the last, I don't know, 3-4 years of every single set. So you can kind of relive that experience. That should be a lot of fun. That's probably the most asked for, demanded thing I've been getting questions on. So next, let's jump over to the Force of Will. We did the variety packs, and of course, everybody made fun of me as far as nobody plays Force of Will. It's a dead game. Force of Will also has the new set, the new Dawn Rises booster boxes that is out. All the patrons pretty much already bought them all. I don't even know. It may be sold out by the time you guys even watch this video. $69.99 shipped, and they've been selling like crazy. Probably the fastest selling Force of Will set I've had for a new release in many years. Probably since 2015 or 2014 when things really took off. So that is, again, very, very positive. Been getting a lot of positive feedback from other Force of Will YouTube channels, from other stores carrying Force of Will. It's been a huge success. The Force of Will variety kit thing that we sold, where I had like just stacked of like 40 pounds worth of stuff for like, it was $2.99 shipped last month. Did sell out, sold hundreds of them. It was a way higher demand than I expected. Everybody had told me that there really wasn't many people playing left. It was dead. It was going to be stupid. And it was far past my expectations. So I do apologize for a handful of you out there still. I'm still getting the order shipped. I had no idea the demand was going to be through the roof like that. So that is that topic. Next thing moving forward here. Fourth quarter, we're going to do a lot more financial videos. That is still the kind of the story time. People like the stories and the history, more financial talk. And a lot of people been getting a lot of requests lately for more economic videos, not even magic related, especially when it comes to the economy as a whole. A lot of people have been talking about the topping out of the reserve list, how, I've even been dealing with people with the collection buying. I've been having a little bit more problems because some people aren't as happy with the collection buying process because the prices are softening and they're not really they're having a hard time understanding it. In addition to that, I've been having a lot more collections come to me with more fake and rebacked cards in it. So it seems like, I don't know if there's a correlation between the inflated old card prices and now I'm seeing more rebacks and counterfeits mixed into people's collections, or if it's just people testing me, or a combination of both. So that's been surprising. So I think that's kind of it's been a little bit of a more challenging time. I feel like that there's becoming a lot more anxiety and nervous. People are losing, there's a lot of consumer confidence that's kind of getting some cracks in the floor here because people are very nervous that these old cards which they've softened in price by around 10%, but there's a lot of fear that there's going to be a lot more downside risk now. And in the short term, I do not see a lot of upside gains in the old reserve list Magic cards right now. If you can hold on to your cards and you're not concerned about money, if you're not trying to flip the cards, I would recommend you hold on to your cards, not sell them in general to me or anybody. I think you'll be better off in the long term. But I do think for the next couple of years, we are entering a period of very flat to zero or even negative returns for the reserve list. The easy money has been made, and so people need to use caution with that when buying right now. Across the board, most auctions on eBay for just all kinds of raw ABU Four Horsemen set cards, across the board, the bidding has been substantially lower than it was 3 to 4 months ago. In addition to that, I've seen a substantial drop in buy list pricing. Even Star City adjusted theirs. I was told Card Kingdom lowered theirs, but I don't really follow theirs often. I cannot verify that. I do know ABU Games, which I do follow. They did a huge haircut on the buy list. And to me, I think it's just showing that they're concerned that they don't want to buy at these higher prices because their inventory on hand, the rate of speed of the sales are dropping big time because the prices are just so high. So that's that category. And past that category, I also want to add that there's been a lot of communication between the patrons and a lot of communication between just people on YouTube emailing me, wanting me to talk about the stock market and the real estate market as a whole, especially since we're in an interest rate increasing environment. You have the Fed really just ticking up those interest rates. There's a lot of movement right now. And then you factor all this in with Wizards of the Coast really trying to find different kind of outlets to move their product due to the weaker sales of the Hour of Dev, the Amonkhet, the Ixalan Rivals, and apparently, I was just told right before filming this that apparently, apparently Rivals, Ixalan, Amonkhet, and Hour are now all officially being fulfilled direct by Amazon, and some people sent me some screenshots that apparently the price is $79 shipped, and even $85 shipped for most boxes. So a lot of people were asking me, Rudy, are you concerned about, with these prices and what's going on? I said, honestly, I'm personally not too concerned. I think a lot of people don't fully understand, like even my own Patreon account, I would say probably about 40% of all of my patrons, not only do they sometimes skip months buying or don't buy or not even concerned about the price as much, but the conversation is not really about that. I don't think people fully realize that about 40% of my patron account is just kind of financial information, discussing financial topics and different speculation. It's not really what people may think. It's a little bit different. And at the same time, of course, these people buy product. But at the same time, I want people to realize that, again, the environment is shifting big time. The prices, the local game store, everything going on, I do expect over the next 1 to 5 years, I'd say 3 to 5 years, I do expect a substantial reduction in the amount of local card store, game stores moving forward around the country. Because simply put, no matter what anybody wants to tell you, I'll be honest with everybody. If I were you all, I would shut down. If you owned a store, I would shut your store down. I would buy the boxes for $80 to $85 on Amazon for all the previous sets, and I would run it out of your house. If you want an honest opinion, that's what I would do. I would not host, pay overhead, I wouldn't do any of that stuff. And I think the market's going to slowly shift to that. Very similar to the Pokemon and the Force of Will and the Final Fantasy business model, where Wizards is the only one that requires the B&M brick and mortar agreement. I think we're going to be drifting away from that because, again, we're in a very, very evolving moment with everything in the country, the games, the economy, even the political landscape, the divide, everything going on is shifting right now. And the Wizards and the business model of distribution is in that same category. So this is Rudy with Alpha Investments. I hope you guys enjoy this information update. So again, recap, nothing really negative to say on Guilds of Ravnica as a whole. Again, you're going to see come out of the gate, prices are going to be high. If you're looking to flip them, make money, you better hurry. If you're looking to play with the cards, have a good time. Patrons, if you're looking to buy from me, I will not, again, just like previous sets, most of you already know this, very few people will be able to get Guilds of Ravnica on the release day because I just don't have enough anymore, especially now that the reduction in print run is because it's being shifted, reduction in distribution because it's being shifted to Amazon and elsewhere. Stores just don't get the high quantity at release like we did a few years ago. So that has changed. But again, a few months from now, just like Dominaria and Core 19, it'll be in stock everywhere. I'll be able to fulfill whatever any of you all want. So, and again, we also have the original Commander Anthology doing for patrons this month. You already got the message by the time you're watching this video. And again, about every other month, we're going to do a Force of Will special. I forgot to add that in. I apologize, everybody. I will be discontinuing Final Fantasy as the card game is almost dead and being discontinued and dropped by distributors and stores around the country. Final Fantasy will not stand the test of time. It is in the process of maybe failing or declining. I'm not sure what's going on all of a sudden. I just got that information like a day or so ago. I don't know if that's just one distributor who over-ordered, or, I don't have much of it left. I never really sold a lot of it. Just a few patrons always bought it, but I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So I just wanted to share that. I will be continuing with the White Swartz. That seems to be going very well. The demand is very good for that. Same with the Force of Will. Pokemon is also going through a pretty steady decline also, so I want people to be aware of that too. The Pokemon Go boom has definitely passed. Pokemon has even been sending out surveys to stores, and distributors have been even kind of doing some Q&As with people and kind of calling, asking questions like, hey, you used to order this many amount of boxes. Why aren't you ordering? What's going on with you and Pokemon? How do you feel about it? There's been a lot of, they've kind of been scratching, calling for some feedback because, again, the Pokemon, I'll be honest with everybody, we had a huge boom a couple years ago because of Pokemon Go and the mainstream and the video game. Well, now we're resetting back to kind of a slower, lower normal levels. During that boom, they really ratcheted the print runs up so high for about a couple years, it really did a lot of damage to the industry. That you factor in with certain eBay sellers that would sell new release boxes in the 70s, very similar to what's going on with Amazon and Magic, and it took a couple years to flow through the system, but it really did a lot of damage to the game, and a lot of stores discontinued the product. So I want to also kind of touch base on that. So moving forward, don't expect to see as much Pokemon information on this channel, in addition to as much Final Fantasy information, because those two games really seem to be in a decline, negative environment right now. Force of Will seems to be flat, slightly upticking, and of course Magic continues to lead the way, even with all the problems they have going on. So Rudy with Alpha Investments, if you guys have any questions or anything moving forward, let me know. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you learned something today. And I got nothing.